Hello, everybody. This is CJ Wiley with More Adventures on the Road. I've had some discussions lately about matching up, like games in a pool room, gambling games. When you match up, there's like a negotiation between the players. And, one player, if he plays better than another, might offer him weight, which is a handicap. I remember the first time I went to Columbia, Missouri. I was 15 years old, and I played this guy named Keith at the Columbia Billiard Center, and I ended up beating him playing 9-ball, and he said, "I can't play you anymore even. I got to have some weight." And I was like, "Weight? What is that?" He says, "Oh, come on. You know what weight is. Don't be hustling me." I said, "No, I really don't know what weight is." I had no clue. And he says, "It's a handicap, you play better than me, so it's not fair that we play even. You should be giving me a handicap." He was hustling me a little bit, right? Poor little 15-year-old kid. So I said, "Well, what kind of handicap or weight are you needing to play me?" And he said, "Well, you play a lot better than me." He says, "I need the 7, 8, and 9. Which means he wins on the 7-ball, 8-ball, and 9-ball, playing 9-ball. And I just went on the 9. But he gets to make the 7, 8, and 9 on the break. He gets combinations. He can luck them in. And that's what ended up happening. I played him for like 4 hours, pretty much even, giving him that weight. And then all of a sudden he started making it on the break and lucking them in and combinations. I mean, when it hits you fast and hard usually. And he won like 4 or 5 games in a row. And I ended up about even. I think I was 4 games up if I don't, it's been a while back. But I think I was 4 games up for 20 a game. And then he ended up winning those 4 games back with the weight, the handicap. So there's an art to that. The negotiation, and we've been talking a lot about that at this pool room speakeasy. A lot of guys that were coming in here since they were kids are successful businessmen now, and they credit that to their negotiation abilities. Matching up is what we call it in the pool rooms. So how it works in the pool room, and it works the same thing in life, every aspect of life, is everything is an offer. So when somebody says something to you, I'll just tell you, when I hear something, I don't just accept it. I know it's an offer. Even if it's something that everybody else believes, I still know it's an offer. And quite honestly, the majority is usually wrong. Like in a pool room, if let's say you got a pool room that's got 30 people in it, probably only about 3 of them are what you would call the sharps, or the smart gamblers, the ones that are going to win all the time. And that might be optimistic. It's 10% at the most, but as far as on a national scale, it's probably 1%. So 1 out of 100 really are going to be correct. So if you find yourself on the side of the majority, that should be a signal to reevaluate your position, whatever position that is. I can go down a list of a whole bunch of things that everybody pretty much believes, and I can show you why it's not true. It's just, if somebody doesn't want to change their mind, it's called, applying to consensus or appealing to authority. That's what most people do, is they go with the consensus of the majority and or authority. If somebody that looks really important and they're dressed in a suit or a lab coat or a robe or some kind of uniform, a policeman, is an authority figure. And if they say something, you're much more liable to do it than somebody even in a suit. And if somebody in a suit tells you something, you're probably more likely to do it than somebody dressed in just plain street clothes. They have had tests on what I just said, and it's a fact. I studied this when I started my own pro tour back in 96, and all the players wore suits because I knew it would not only give them more respect with the general public, but it made them stand up straighter. It made them talk more professionally. It changed the way not only people looked at them, but how they looked at other people and how they conducted themselves. So those things are very important. So everything is an offer. And if you just think about that and apply it to your life, and obviously I'm talking about in pool rooms too. No matter what somebody says, they're offering that information. You don't have to take it. And if somebody like insults you, that's what one guy asked me. It's like, when you reach any degree of notoriety, you're always going to have haters, and we call them gamma males or secret kings that just can't stand that you're getting attention and they're not. I don't have that. I love being around well-known people and people that are great at what they do. I have no jealousy. As a matter of fact, I look at them as a lot of times kind of a role model, and I did that when I first came on the pro tour. I looked at all the guys like Mike Sigel and Kim Davenport and Nick Varner, and they dressed really well and they conducted themselves professionally, and I wanted to be like that, and I ended up getting voted the best dressed pool player of the year one year, because I really wanted to put on a professional appearance, and it kind of was contagious, but it didn't start with me. It started with, Mike Sigel was one that always seemed to have a suit on, and Jimmy Rimpey was the best example. King James. So anyway, this is just a little, prep for something I might do where I go into a lot more detail on how all this works. But just considering everything an offer, you can take it or leave it or do anything in between. It's always your choice. But especially in a pool room, I'd recommend not just accepting especially the first offer. It's probably not going to work out well for you. Anyway, this is CJ with a little adventures on the road after dark. The suns went down and I just wanted to get this out. I've been meaning to do it, but now's the best time. Hope you have a great, not weekend, strong end. I'll talk with you soon.